Hey class, today we're going to be talking about the Pythagorean theorem. The Pythagorean theorem states that the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. And the formula is c squared equals a squared plus b squared. Now, what does this really mean? It means exactly what the definition states. So if I make a square enclosed by each of these sides, so this side A is 4 units long, so if I make a square, all the side lengths have to be 4 units long, like this, and like this. And side B is 3 units long, so if I make a square, it's this. And if this is just labeled B, that means this side length is also B. If this side length is labeled A, that means this side is labeled A. And, so therefore the area of this box is A squared, length times width. And the area of this box is B squared, length times width. Okay. And if you add these boxes, so if I added these 16 squares and added these 9 squares, I get 25 squares. And if you were to create a square enclosed with side C, the hypotenuse, uh, believe it or not, this area here would be actually 25 squares. We'll do an activity in class using unit squares to show that this property is true. Let's go on to an example. Okay, so I'm looking at question number 1 from page 9, question 1C. I've redrawn the picture from the textbook pages that are uploaded onto Angel. These little dash marks that you see here indicate that the two sides are equivalent. So in the textbook page, only one side is labeled. It just means that the other side is the same length. Now, if we label these sides using the letters according to the Pythagorean theorem, this would be side A, this would be side B, and this would be side C. Side C is the longest side, and it's labeled as the hypotenuse. Okay, it's always the longest side, and it's opposite to the 90-degree angle. So here's the largest angle in this triangle, and it's opposite to the longest side within the triangle. Now let's solve the question, filling in the numbers. Again, if I write the equation of the Pythagorean theorem, c squared equals a squared plus b squared. C squared is what I want to find. A squared is 8 plus b squared. Oops, this is a 2. C squared equals 64 plus 64. C squared equals 128. I want to take the square root of both sides to find what just C is. And C is equal to approximately 11.3 centimeters. Let's look at another example. This is question 1A from page 9. And we have this side label as 8 centimeters, this side label as 6 centimeters. Again, if we label the sides, this could be side A, this could be side B, and this could be side C. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. C squared equals 6 squared plus 8 squared. That means C squared is equal to 36 plus 64. C squared is equal to 100. If I take the square root of both sides, that means the length of C is 10 centimeters. Okay, so this would be 10 centimeters here. So far, all the examples we've looked at only require you simply putting the numbers in, and we haven't had to move any of the numbers around or use any algebra skills. I want to look at this example on the top of page 10 in the textbook. We have this situation where this side is labeled 35 centimeters. This is side A. The hypotenuse is 175 centimeters, and side B is the side we want to find. So we have some given information. We know what side A is. We know what side C is. Now, you want to substitute this information into the Pythagorean theorem. Again, I'll rewrite the theorem. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. Now this time 175 squared is equal to 35 squared plus B squared is what I want to find. Okay, I want to get rid of this 35 squared. So what I'm going to do to both sides is I'm going to subtract 35 squared. I want to do the opposite. This is positive. In order to get rid of it or to make it 0, I'm going to do the opposite operation. So whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 35 squared on this side as well. Okay. When you do this, now you got the letter all by itself. B squared is equal to 175 squared minus 35 squared. Let's go over here now. This is now 30,625 minus 1,225 equals B squared. 29,400 is equal to B squared. Take the square root of both sides, and you get B is equal to approximately 171 centimeters. So this concludes the lesson on the Pythagorean theorem. And so when you come to class on Thursday, that's when I'll assign the homework for you to do while in class.